Now for tonight's starting lineup, first for the visiting Medina Bees. At guard, number 1, Ben Getty. At forward, number 10, Kevin Frank. At forward, number 32, Zach Banks. At center, number 33, John Pesky. And at guard, number 34, Tyler King. The head coach of Medina is Chris Messenger. Assistant coaches, Mitch Charvet and Carl Walter.
Good evening, everybody. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Glad to be back with you tonight. You can check out this game, the replay, on Time Warner Cable, channel 96.96, or Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, on our YouTube channel. This is game number 13 of the 2014-2015 Mentor Cardinal varsity basketball season. Cardinals coming in with a 8-4 record on the season. Going to be facing off against the visiting Medina Battling Bees. 5-5 on the season is the Medina Bees. Had a couple tough defeats to some top teams in the area, though, so that record is a little bit deceiving. They did push Shaker Heights and Lorraine to the limit before falling in close matchups versus those two top 10 schools in the Cleveland.com poll. As we begin play here tonight, John Teskey leading off the game with a two-handed slam, putting Medina up early. John Teskey, the 7-foot center for Medina, is a junior, is already committed to play his college ball at the University of Michigan. Cardinals attempting a three-point shot, coming up shy. Starting lineup for the Cards this evening. Bit of a change with Andrew Valeri going to be sitting this one out. He's going to be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with a left thumb injury that he suffered this week in practice. So we do have Kyle McIntosh, Joey Zog, Paul Satika, Micah Potter. And this week we got Jack Korsak making his 5th start of the season. Bit of a good luck charm, though, for the Cards. All 4 prior games that Korsak started, the Cardinals were victorious in. It's going to be a tough matchup. Battling down low, 2 big men. John Teskey at 6'11", 7 foot is what they list him on Medina's roster versus the 6'9.5" Micah Potter for the Cardinals. Cardinals on the move. Kyle McIntosh kicking it out, swinging around. Jack Korsak, number 5, found himself wide open for the three-pointer, putting the Cards up top 3-2 in the early going. 1 minute off the clock so far. First period here, Mentor High School, the Medina Bees visiting the Mentor Cardinals. Cardinals trying to tighten up on defense. Micah Potter stepping out. John Teskey, the big man, attempted a three-point shot, nearly hit it. Rimmed itself in and out, stolen as the Cardinals were on a fast break. Number 32, this is Zach Bennett, the senior guard forward swing man for the Bees with that steal, but it's going to be a turnover going back in favor of the Cards, who have the 1-point advantage, 3-2. Paul Satika, Mr. Energy, kicking it out to Micah Potter, the Cardinals' big man. Center stepping out for a three-point attempt and equally coming up shy, just as John Teske did. Micah Potter coming off a big victory for the Cards last week. 77-67 at the Strongsville Mustangs. The Cardinals victorious. Micah Potter ended up coming up with 37 points and a big win for the Cards. Cards on defense. It's Medina looking to swing the ball around. Micah Potter on the switch. Good hands on defense by the Cards. That's Jack Korsak. Again, getting his 5th start of the night for the Cards. Game number 13 on the season. Cards with that 8-4 record. Looking to come back home and get a home victory tonight. Nice spin move by number 1 for the Bees. Coming up shy was Ben Geschke. Cards quickly on the move in the other direction. Joey Zog kicking it out to Kyle McIntosh. Draining the three-point shot. 2 threes on the night for the Cards as they have the 6-2 advantage over Medina. Doing that full court press. Cards don't ever want to stop putting pressure. They always constantly want to push the ball. Joey Zog, dribble penetration, putting it up, and he is fouled. 5:30 remaining in the first quarter of play. The Cards with the 6-2 advantage in the early going. Joey Zog going to be stepping to the free throw line, coming with a 62% free throw shooting percentage. Joey, the second leading scorer for the Cards this season, averaging 12.8 points per game. Coming up shy in that first free throw attempt. Cards are going to be missing their point guard, Andrew Valeri, who leads the team with 3.6 assists per game. So Joey Zog is going to have to step up into that role of being one of the primary ball handlers. It's going to kind of be a point guard by committee, did Coach Krasanzik say over the week. Joey Zog averaging just under 3 assists per game. Going to need a big effort from him tonight with the Florida General going to be out for a few weeks. John Teske, and they're going to call the Cards for a blocking foul. They're going to count that basket. Teske's going to be going to the line to make it a 3-point play. Questionable call. Looked like they almost could have went the other way as a charge, but the officials rule in favor of Medina on that play. Andrew Valeri in street clothes here. 4 to 6 weeks he's going to be out for the Cards. Sitting on the sideline wearing a bow tie, cheering on the squad here tonight. You know, he wishes he could be out there. You know, they asked Andrew Valeri what he thought about Cardinals basketball this week, and I think what he said really summarized what it's all about. Is Micah Potter trying another 3 and coming up shy again. Micah, we need to get you down low with those baskets underneath the board. But he's going to be doing his share of banging against number 33, John Teske. 2 of the biggest players in Northeastern Ohio going head-to-head against each other. Cards on the move. Korsak over to Joey Zog. Joey Zog going to swing the ball around Jack Korsak. Kicking it out to Micah Potter. Again, is going to step out and take a 3. This time he's going to drain it. Doubling up the Medina Bees. The Cards up 10-5, 4:30 remaining in the first quarter of play. Cards quickly on the steal, putting that full court press and getting the easy bucket there. Big basket for Adam Smith, number 20. The senior forward for the Cards coming in, giving a solid effort. His first opportunity coming in tonight. Getting the easy bucket down low, but going back to that statement, Andrew Valeri talking about what does it mean to play Cardinals basketball, playing for Menor. He said, I think people have a slanted vision that it's just go up the floor and shoot the 3. It is get up the floor, get the ball to the open guy, press and press and press and never get tired. It's about wearing out the other team. So that's the Cardinals' philosophy. And in that respect, kind of a polar opposite when you look at the Medina Bees, is Medina with their games that they've won so far this year, the games where they've slowed the ball down. 12-5, the Cards with the advantage here. 4:15 remaining in the first quarter of play. Cards looking good in the early going here. Medina with that 5-5 record, just 500 on the season. But they have played some tough competition and some tough games, so it's not going to be an easy out by any means tonight. Coach Krasanzik talking about Medina this week. He said Medina wins games when they hold teams scoring in the 30s and 40s, so we have to push it and try to get into the 70s or 80s if we want to be successful. And Cardinals are echoing that sentiment here in the early going, really taking every opportunity with the ball to try to push it because they want to get that score up and not turn it into a half-court game. Coach Krasanzik, 551 career wins all-time in his long tenured career. He's 20th all-time in the state of Ohio. Still far cry away from the leader who has 850 wins, Richard Kortokrax. Cards with that 8-4 record, though, number 2 in the News Herald, top of the crop to VASJ. The Plain Dealer top 25, the Cards ranked number 8. Cards on offense, always looking to move that ball around and looking for some dribble penetration as well. Jack Korsak, number 5, swinging it around. Paul Satika at the top of the key. Actually, that was Joey Zog putting up the 3, coming up shy. Sometimes it's hard to read these numbers on these white-on-white numerals that the Cards wear at home many times. It's going to be a foul on the Cardinals. Medina's going to be taking the ball out of bounds. 3:30 remaining in the first quarter play. Cards with a 7-point advantage. Cards looking to tighten up on defense. Getting a nice defensive rebound, pushing the ball. Joey Zog swinging it around. Jack Korsak find himself wide open for the 3-point attempt, coming up shy. Banging in there was number 20, Adam Smith, but did not get the rebound. It's going to be a kick ball against Joey Zog, going to remain Medina possession. Cards maintaining that 7-point advantage. Medina, Tyler King inbounding the ball. Jack Korsak putting pressure on Ben Getschke, the sophomore guard for the Bees. Swinging the ball around at number 22, Luke Schaefer. Luke, dribble penetration, swinging it around at Delonte Morrow. Back up to the top of the key, Ben Getschke. Nice pass in the middle of the lane, nearly stole by the Cards. It's going to be out of bounds. Cardinals direction with the pressure defense. Coach Krasanzik's got to be thrilled about the defense and the effort that the Cards have been coming out with here in the early going. 2:53 remaining in the first quarter play. The Cards with the 7-point lead. Kyle McIntosh bringing the ball up the court. Swinging it around, Joey Zog looking inside. The big man Micah Potter finding himself in the... Actually, Cardinals right now find Joey Zog. Number 21, Paul Satika. 24 is in there right now, Ian Tenku. Micah Potter coming back into the game. As both he and his big matchup tonight against John Teske, both on the bench for a minute there, getting a breather. McIntosh looking to inbound the ball. Throwing it up in the air for Micah Potter. Found himself away from Teske for a minute. Potter retains possession, kicking it out. Kyle McIntosh. Joey Zog wide open for the 3, putting it up. Coming well short on that attempt. Cards still with that 7-point lead, but we've been stuck at 12-5 for a while. Dribble penetration and blocked by Micah Potter. Take that back. Paul Satika going to kick it out to Kyle McIntosh, looking to push the ball. Swinging it around, number 13 for the Cards. Coming up shy, that was Austin Koss. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. Good hands on defense by the Cards. Back to Teske, though, for the Bees. Zach Bennett put it back up top. Ben Getschke. Back over to Bennett. Bennett going to swing it around top of the key to Teske. Ben Getsch going to put it up off the mark. Micah Potter on the rebound, giving it over to Joey Zog. Kyle McIntosh swinging it around. Paul Satika. Nice basket by Kyle McIntosh, hitting the 3, his second one on the night. 6 points on the night for Kyle McIntosh, extending the lead to a 10-point advantage for the Cards, 15-5 over the Medina Bees. Coach Krasanzik still looking for that full 32 minutes of his team playing the way he expects them to play. It's the one comment he made here. We have some guys who give great effort, play well. Just like last week, after they fell down by double digits early, they came back for that victory. but he's still looking for that game where it's a complete package from opening tip to the ending whistle at the end of the game. So far, pretty good start for the Cards, though, with the 10-point advantage at home, 15-5 over Medina. Full court press. Broken momentarily. Delonte Morrow on the run, but it's going to be traveling violation on the Bees. 1:26 remaining in the first quarter play. Cards up by 10. Got the ball back. On the move, Kyle McIntosh looking for that pick from Micah Potter. Swinging around Paul Satika. Potter, the three-point arc. Kyle McIntosh. And Potter's been content to take a lot of three-pointers. That's either his fourth or fifth three-point attempt in the first quarter of play. I'd have to think one of the topics of discussions to start working it down low a little bit more to Micah. Even though he's matched up against pretty comparable sized counterpart for Medina and John Teskey, which doesn't happen all that often. You still got to take advantage of that size and try to get him on the block as opposed to on a three-point arc. Kyle McIntosh doing the primary ball handling tonight with Andrew Valeri out. Again, he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with that left thumb injury. Micah Potter doing just as I said, trying to work that ball down low, coming up shy in that layup attempt. Medina, nice ball fake. Looking around this number 10, Evan Schreck. Back, Ben Geschke. Looking to get that ball down low. Half a minute remaining in the first quarter play. The Cards up by 10. Retaining possession is Medina. 5 fouls already in the first quarter play versus the Cards, 3 against Medina. Nice dribble penetration, but coming up shy in that attempt was Luke Schaefer, sophomore forward for the Bees. They're going to call a foul on big man John Teskey. Cardinals possession, 26 seconds remaining in the first quarter play as Paul Satika is going to take a seat, as is Jack Korsak. Kyle McIntosh going to slow it down and probably wait for that last shot of the quarter for the Cards, up by 10 points. 15-5. Medina not mustering up a whole lot of offense in that first quarter of play. McIntosh looking for the pick from Adam Smith, swinging it around. Nice take. And getting it in there is Adam Smith. Nice take to the basket and to make his time expired to put the Cardinals up by 12 points. 17-5 as the first quarter clock expired on the Cards. Leading scorer for the season for the Cards is Micah Potter. Micah coming in with just 1 basket in that first quarter of play, though. Coming off of a high scoring output last week versus Strongsville. That was a career high in points for Micah with 37 points. Again, the Cards were down by double digits. They had an 11-point hole early on in the game that they worked themselves out of to be victorious last week versus the Mustangs out of Strongsville, 77-67. The JV team of the Cardinals losing to Medina tonight, 84-73, to put them at 500 on the season. As we get ready to start quarter number 2, 17-5, the Cards up. Micah Potter going to pass that over to Kyle McIntosh, let him get set up. Joey Zog, dribble penetration, running it back out. Micah Potter's doing a lot of playing on the perimeter today. Adam Smith, who just made that tough basket, his time expired in the first quarter. Kyle McIntosh, another three-point shot. He's got 3 three-pointers on the night for 9 points this evening as the Cards up by 15, 20-5 versus Medina. This defense of the Cards really giving Medina fits right now. Ben Geschke, the point guard, swinging the ball around, and number 22, Luke Schaefer, inside to big number 33, John Teskey. Has 7 points on the night. All 7 of the points for the Bees coming from number 33, John Teskey, the Michigan Wolverine recruit. Only a junior in high school, though. Committing early to that Big Ten school up north. Micah Potter down low against Teskey. Teskey getting a piece of the ball, turning Potter back. The Bees on the move. Evan Schreck swinging the ball around to number 22, Luke Schaefer. Up top to Teskey for the three. He was feeling it. Satika kicking it over to Kyle McIntosh. McIntosh heat check, coming up shy in that three-point attempt though. Wanted to see if he was hot from that three-point range, but coming up shy in that attempt. Nice take to the basket by Medina. Late whistle though, as Tyler King fouled. Looked like he had a wide open lane to the basket, but when Micah Potter's in the area with those long arms on that wingspan, standing 6'9", able to go in there and deter the shot, but the referee's feeling that he got too much contact as well, calling him for the foul. So we do have someone other than John Teskey finally putting a point on the board for Medina. 8 points for Medina, 7 of those coming from John Teskey. Cards with the 20-8 advantage. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. As Tyler King hits both of his free throw attempts. Cards with the 11-point advantage. Kyle McIntosh looking for that pick from Micah Potter. Micah Potter up top, swinging it around. Jack Korsak using that pick from Micah Potter to find enough of an opening to put up that three-point attempt, but coming up shy. And Korsak going down low, getting the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball, going to go the way of the Bees. Down by 11 points, 20-9, 6:09 remaining in the first half of play. Full court press as they always do. The Cards breaking it, Tyler King. Turning it over though, giving it to Micah Potter. McIntosh on the move. Nice find when he keeping his head up and looking for number 5, Jack Korsak. Under pressure with the trap. Medina got him on a run. Tyler King. They're going to call a foul on the Cards. 22-9, the Cards with the big advantage. 6 fouls on the night though for the Cardinals, as Micah Potter is going to go ahead and get a Gatorade and have a seat for a minute. Medina looking to inbound the ball. Really turning that ball over. Number 10, Evan Schreck, under pressure now. And traveling is going to be the call on Zach Bennett. The senior forward, standing 6'1" for Medina, turning that ball over. The Battling Bees, coached by Chris Hassinger, coming in 500 record on the season, struggling in the early going versus the Cards. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Korsak swinging it around. Back up to Kyle McIntosh. Also out there is Adam Smith. McIntosh finding a lane, finding his way in the basket, drawing the foul. He's going to go for an and-one situation, going to be stepping to the line. 11 points on the night for Kyle McIntosh. Again, doing the primary ball handling tonight with Andrew Valeri missing his first game of the season. Again, Andrew Valeri injuring that left thumb in practice this week. He started every game so far this year, but missing this one, and he's going to miss a few before he comes back. Cards getting another turnover. Nice effort by Joey Zog to get a hand on the ball. And the Cards queuing up a three-point attempt. Ian Tenku coming up shy, so the Cards are going to have to get back on defense. Pushing that ball, Ben Geske, the point guard for the Bees. 25-9 though, the Cards with the advantage, and it's going to go their direction. 4:55 remaining in the half. Cards being led by Kyle McIntosh with 12 points. John Teskey for the Bees, 7 of the 9 points for Medina. Joey Zog with a deep three-point attempt coming up shy, but that's Adam Smith again sticking his nose in there and giving a lot of hustle and effort here in the first half of play for Coach Krasancic and his squad. Putting up another three-point attempt, feeling it, Kyle McIntosh. Giving a little fist pump after hitting that three. He's really feeling it tonight. And the block, Ian Tenku looked like he got a lot of ball, but they call a foul on the big forward for the Cardinals. Kyle McIntosh, though, with 15 points out of the 28 points for the Cards this evening. It's been the main scoring option for Menor tonight. The junior guard. Him and Andrew Valeri both coming up to the varsity squad last year as sophomores, getting minutes in that point guard position. 4:22 remaining in the first half. Adam Smith, nice rebound on that free throw miss by the Bees. McIntosh pushing the ball under pressure. Ian Tenku ends up with the top of the key. Kyle McIntosh would like to take big John Teskey to the hole, looking to spread out the court a little bit. Oh, and Teskey got the better of that matchup there as he rejected that layup attempt by Kyle McIntosh. I like what Kyle was doing there. He saw the mismatch with his speed versus the size of John Teskey. He thought he could take him to the basket and outmaneuver him on that layup, and he nearly did. Back in the hands of the Cards. McIntosh, dribble penetration. Jack Corsock putting up the three-pointer, coming up shy. Ian Tenku fighting for the ball. Getting aggressive and letting the ball stay in the hands of the Cardinals. We're going to stay on this end of the court. The Cards are not going to let anybody push them around, and being the aggressor here tonight versus Medina, 28-9, the advantage over the Bees. 3:40 remaining in the first half of play. Kyle McIntosh looking to inbound the ball, going to swing it out to Ian Tenku. Up top to Joey Zog. Looking inside, nice pass. Ian Tenku finding the big man down low, wide open for the layup. Full court press. Medina nearly didn't get that ball in 5 seconds. Broken up by Ben Geschke. He broke that press, but quickly back in favor of the Cards. Kyle McIntosh, and that's going to be a foul on the defense. Number 43. He's going to get called for that foul. .320 remaining in the first half of play. Kyle McIntosh over to Joey Zog, putting up that three-point attempt. It looked good going up, but coming up just shy. 30-9, the Cards with the big lead. As the Bees buzzing in for the layup on that attempt. Swinging the ball around the Cards. Ian Tenku at the top of the key. Wide open drive, but they're going to say that was a foul on the Cardinals. 2:55 remaining in the first half of play, 30-11. Is Paul Satika coming into the game to replace Ian Tenku, who gave a lot of good minutes for Coach Krasanzik. Really getting some toughness in the game and some good energy off the bench. And high point man for the Cards has been Kyle McIntosh, 15 of the 30 points. Got half of the Cards' points tonight. Number 43, not even listed on my directory here, but I'm told that's Brian Moran, the sophomore guard, coming up shy at attempt for the Bees, but quickly in favor of the Cards. Joey Zog kicking it out to Adam Smith, but fighting for it down low. Joey Zog banging, getting that offensive rebound, putting it up, putting it in for the Cards. A tough offensive board and put back for Joey. Adam Smith again coming up big on the boards for the Cards. Good hands by Ben Geschke, though, to turn the ball over in favor of the Bees. Brian Moran, number 43, coming in and giving some good, tough minutes here off the bench for Chris Haskier and the battling Bees out of Medina. And we're getting a mass substitution here, though, as Ben Geschke is going to go sit down. John Teskey, the big center, coming back into the game for the Bees, as well as Luke Schaefer and Zach Bennett. 2:08 remaining in the first half of play, 32-14, the Cards with the big lead. Swinging the ball around, Paul Satika to Joey Zog, working the perimeter. Austin Koss also in the game. And there he is, Austin Koss, going to come up shy in that three-point attempt. Nice board by the Bees. Tyler King on that board. Brian Moran fighting his way in for that layup attempt, but coming up shy. Paul Satika ended up with the ball. It's going to remain Cardinals possession. A minute and a half remaining in the first half of play. 32-14, the Cards with the big lead. Medina is in a bonus situation here, though, with the Cards. 8 fouls in the first half of play. McIntosh looking to find someone, may have to take a timeout, but he lofts it up for Joey Zog. Joey being hounded on defense. Adam Smith, top of the key. Faking that three-point attempt. Good hands by the Bees, Luke Schaefer. Minute 27 remaining in the first half of play. McIntosh looking to inbound that ball again. Giving it over to Adam Smith, who's going to get it back to the point guard. McIntosh really stepping up so far this evening. Being the primary offensive weapon for the Cards. Paul Satika swinging around Austin Koss at the top of the key. Minute 11 remaining in the first half. Paul Satika being guarded by John Teskey. Joey Zog's going to put it up, going to put up that three-point attempt, coming up shy, but diving on the floor trying to save that ball, Kyle McIntosh, and it's going to remain Cards possession. 45 seconds remaining in the first half of play. McIntosh is going to slow it down, maybe even wait for that last shot of the half for the Cards. 32-14, the advantage over Medina. Joey Zog out top, being defended by Tyler King. Looking for a pick from Paul Satika. Zach Bennett on defense for Medina. 20 seconds remaining in the half. Kyle McIntosh going to cue it up here. 15 seconds. Got to make your move. 10 seconds to go. McIntosh going to loft it up. The floater missed it, but Paul Satika, Mr. Energy, getting the offensive board. Putting it up, putting it in before the half expired. And the Cards creeping back up to a 20-point advantage, 34-14. Enjoy the halftime. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Hopefully you're enjoying a replay of the game tonight as we get waiting to see the halftime entertainment here before they return for the second half of play. The Cards up 34-14 back at home versus Medina. Okay, coming back for the second half of play. Cardinal TV 34-14. The Cards with the 20-point advantage. Starting the third quarter of play. High point man for the Cards. Kyle McIntosh, 15 points. High point man with half of the points for the Bees. John Teskey, 7 out of the 14 points for Medina. Going the other direction now. Micah Potter to the top of the key. Taking it to the hole. Nice spin move against John Teskey, coming up shy in that short attempt. He's mad at himself. He picked up a foul after missing that short basket attempt. It's going to be the third personal foul for Micah on tonight, who only has 3 points. Fouling that big 37-point output last week against Strongsville. Turnover in the hands of Paul Satika, Mr. Energy. Showing some energy on that, kicking it out to the Cards. Jack Corsock, again, getting his 5th start of the night. First one since the beginning of the season, but they are 4-0 with Corsock in that starting lineup, looking to remain perfect and undefeated on the season with number 5 in that starting lineup for the Cards. As Medina gets the basket, 37-16. Cards leading at halftime again by 20 points, 34-14. Cards are 6-1 when they go into halftime with the lead, so that bodes well for the Cardinals. Micah Potter arguing the possession decision by the referees, but it's going to go in the hands of Medina. Cardinals up by 21 points, full court press. Paul Satika getting in the mix, but broke that press was Ben Geske, but turned back. Number 33, John Teskey, blocked by Micah Potter, who wants the ball down low. Wide open, putting up that short little J, but strong on that attempt. Luckily, that did go off the hands of Medina, so it's going to keep it in possession of the Cards. Luckily, as Micah Potter overshot that hoop by plenty. 6:45 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards back home tonight. Starting out hot in that first half of play, looking to continue that momentum in the second half. Swinging the ball around. Paul Satika got to hold on to that ball, nearly turned it over. And he called a timeout before he did turn it over. Getting a little bit sloppy here in the early going of the third quarter for the Cards. 21-point advantage now, went into halftime with that 20-point lead, but just the feel of it got a little bit sloppy. You got to keep up that intensity. As Coach Kruzanzik said, we want to get it for the entire game. He'd love to see an effort where from tip to that final buzzer, they're playing the way he wants them to play, because he knows that's going to position them for a postseason run that they're going to need. Again, the starting point guard, the junior Andrew Valeri, going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks for the Cards with that left thumb injury. Coach Kruzanzik hoping to have Valeri back by the time the playoffs start, so getting the lion's share of the ball handling duties tonight has been number 4, Kyle McIntosh, and he's really answered the bell with a big night. At the top of the key right now, number 4, McIntosh, getting that pick by Micah Potter. Looking to play two-man game, but keeping the ball. McIntosh staying aggressive tonight, drawing that foul, putting it up, putting it in. Opportunity for a 3-point play. 17 points on the night for McIntosh. Looking to finish it off with the charity stripe. John Teskey coming back in the game for Medina. Well, you had to know it was going to be a battle between Micah Potter versus John Teskey tonight. The two big men, 6'9" Micah Potter versus 7-foot John Teskey. It's really impacted Micah's scoring output. Micah, the leading scorer for the Cards at 17 points per game, only with 1 3-point basket to date. Nice defensive effort by Corsock, stealing it, looking to go coast to coast, and one, putting it up, getting the layup, and he's fouled after that steal, taking it all the way to the bucket for the basket, 42-16. Corsock now with 10 points on the night, making the most of his starting opportunity for the Cards. With Andrew Valeri down, Corsock getting his 5th start of the season, but his first one since the early going. 5:54 remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards 43-16. Really taking Medina out of their game. And Medina likes to play more of a half-court style, as they do drain a 3-pointer. Everin Schreck for the Bees. Evans got 5 points on the night. McIntosh over to Micah Potter. Nice spin move down low, but turned back by John Teskey as Micah Potter got a little bit too deep inside. It got turned back by Teskey. 43-19, the Cards with the lead, so the Bees maybe turn into some three-point attempts to try to get back in the game. As that ball sails out of bounds, too much to handle for Ben Geske as it went over his head and out of bounds. Cardinal substitutions, Ian Tenku and Adam Smith both coming back into the game. Micah Potter and Paul Satika, the front court for the Cards, the starters, going to get a seat. But a lot of good minutes by both of these young men, Ian Tenku and Adam Smith, in that first quarter of play. They really had some toughness and a rebounding presence and some big baskets. Adam Smith, for one, hitting a layup as time expired to end that first quarter of play. Tenku to dribble penetration out to Joey Zog. 43-19 Cards. Swinging it around, Tenku to Korsak, around to McIntosh. McIntosh over to Adam Smith. To Joey Zog. Good defense on this set by Medina too, not giving the Cards a whole lot of opportunities. Ian Tenku swinging it around to Kyle McIntosh. There's an open look. Joey Zog finally got it and drained it. It's going to be his second three-pointer on the night. 6 points on the evening for Joey. The senior guard for the Cards, bringing a lot of leadership for Coach Krzyzanczyk and his squad. Three-point attempt by Medina, coming up shy, but a big offensive board by Zach Bennett, kicking it back out. Ben Geske with the ball over to John Teskey. Nice pass down low by the big man, finding Tyler King for that reverse layup. Good look by the big man. A lot of versatility by Teskey as he could pop out and hit the outside shot, showing on that pass attempt there too. Good court awareness. Some more than just the 7-foot size brought upon the intrigue by the Michigan Wolverines to recruit that young man with that verbal commitment only as a junior in high school, but he's really showing a lot of good basketball IQ as well. Nice steal by the Cards. Kyle McIntosh kicking it out to Joey Zog, who just came off from draining that three for the Cards a few minutes ago. Austin Koss back in the game, also gave some big minutes in the first half. Kyle McIntosh feeling it tonight. Shaking his head in acknowledgement. He knows he had to step up tonight with Valeri being down and answering the bell and then some with 21 points so far. The Cards up 49-21. The big offensive output by McIntosh leading this offensive unit for the Cards tonight, but the Cards effort really showing a lot of intensity and hustle all night long, working as a unit on defense and offense. Again, as Andrew Valeri said, the Cardinals, what Cardinal basketball means to him. Get the ball up the floor, get the ball to the open guy, press, press, and press, and never get tired. Let's wear out the other team. And that's what they're doing tonight. Some quotes by Coach Krzyzanczyk. Looking again at the beginning of March, maybe the second tournament game to get Andrew Valeri back. Krzyzanczyk saying they should have him in good shape and ready to come in and perform. Hopefully we can get him back and we can make a run with him in the tournament. Krzyzanczyk talking about matching up tonight against John Teskey, saying he's a definite force in the paint. Krzyzanczyk knows that they took Shaker Heights and Asa Ahmad, one of the standout athletes in the area, to the brink. Nearly won that game before Shaker turned him back. You know, last week Krzyzanczyk was especially proud of Micah Potter, obviously, for scoring those 37 points. Said that was huge, but we have to be able to shoot the ball better from the outside and take care of the ball. And I think the Cardinals have answered tonight with really showing some good stroke from the three-point stripe tonight. And also doing, for the most part, a pretty good job with holding on to the ball and not turning it over. That's the big advantage, 49-22. But again, we want to see that effort. 32 minutes straight on through. 3:22 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards with that 25-point lead. Stolen by Medina. And the Cards got to keep their intensity going and not get sloppy as they have on these last couple possessions. Zach Bennett swinging it around. Delonte Morrow inside to John Teskey, kicking it out to number 10. It's Evan Schreck coming up shy. Joey Zog with a nice rebound. Blocking foul going to be by Evan Schreck, as he was right there when McIntosh was coming down with the ball. Going to be getting Paul Satika back in the game. Ian Tenku is going to take a seat. So the Cards have on the court right now Paul Satika, Joey Zog, Kyle McIntosh, Austin Koss, and Adam Smith. And Koss gave him some good minutes in that first half of play as well. I think Coach Krasanzik's really appreciating some of the depth he has on the team this year. Had some injuries already, not just with Andrew Valeri in the season, but at the beginning of the year, Joey Zog had missed a few games too, and that's when Jack Korsak stepped in for that 4-game stint in games number 4 through 8 at the beginning of the year. 2:40 remaining in the third quarter play. Cards up 49-24. Joey Zog, dribble penetration. Austin Koss back out to Zog, surveying the territory. Cards constantly moving on offense, trying to find that open man. Not real particular with who puts up the shot, more so that they try to get a good wide open look. Austin Koss swinging it around, and there it may be. Joey Zog swinging it. Paul Satika passing up that wide open three-point attempt, but Kyle McIntosh getting another look at it. Adam Smith with another big board, banging it up and putting it back in after that strong offensive rebound. Adam Smith muscling it in for a close-range bucket. He's got 6 points on tonight. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play, and that's going to be an offensive foul on the Bees. 51-24, the Cards still with that big advantage. The Bees giving him full court pressure. Kyle McIntosh finding Austin Koss in the corner, wide open for a three. Coming up shy, but McIntosh, good job breaking that press. Delonte Morrow swinging it over to Zach Bennett. Zach Bennett going to swing the ball around, looking inside for John Teskey. Too easy when he's inside versus a smaller Kyle McIntosh. Kyle McIntosh trying to take advantage of that mismatch when he was on offense with his speed in the first half, and Teskey taking advantage this time when he's on the offensive side with his size and putting it up and putting it in for the Bees. Adam Smith swinging it around to Paul Satika. That motion offense by the Cards. Joey Zog, dribble penetration. Trying to find his open man, Kyle McIntosh, another three. 24 points on the night for McIntosh. Inside a minute to play in the third quarter, 54-26, the Cards with the big lead. A nice steal by the Cards again. Finding Kyle McIntosh for the layup inside. Austin Koss on that steal. Finding McIntosh, a tough basket inside. 26 points for McIntosh. 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter play. Wide open three-point look for the Bees. Coming up shy, but Teskey getting that rebound down low, putting it up, and he's fouled. I think they're going to get Paul Satika on that foul for the Cards. They're going to call that on Adam Smith, correction. It's going to be the first foul on the night for, or second foul for Adam Smith. So you update the scoreboard here, but only the third foul for the Cards in the second half of play. As some substitutions coming in the game is Tadas Tatarunas. Gave some tough minutes to the JV squad in the game prior to this. Fortunately, the Cards were bested by 11 points to Medina in that JV matchup. But Tatarunas getting some minutes here with the varsity squad again. Half a minute remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards up 56-27. Joey Zog bringing the ball up the court, breaking that press, and they're going to get a blocking foul on the Bees. Zach Bennett is going to get called for the foul. That's going to be the, what are we going to take it up to? I think it's going to be the 7th foul here in the third quarter of play against Medina. McIntosh, another layup inside, showing his toughness. I'm not just going to shoot three-pointers. I'm going to show my versatility tonight. Got 28 points so far through 3 quarters of play for McIntosh. Coming up in a big way with his counterpart Andrew Valeri, sidelined tonight with that thumb injury. McIntosh doing it inside, doing it outside. Primary ball handler for the Cards, pushing the ball up the court. Just an excellent effort by number 4 for Menor. 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards up by 31 points, 58-27. And we're going to find Austin Koss at the free throw line. Austin Koss shooting at a 75% clip at the free throw line. Second best free throw shooter on the Cardinals team, and he hits that first of the 1-and-1 situation. First point on the night for Koss. Austin Koss getting some extra minutes tonight that he may not normally have gotten if Valeri was in there, the junior guard for the Cards. Lucky number 13, having himself a nice evening tonight. 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter play. Zach Bennett bringing the ball up the court for Medina. Inside 10 seconds to play, 5 seconds. Good pressure defense by the Cards, but finding himself for a wide open layup as time expired. That was number 24, Jimmy Clark, in the game now, getting his first bucket of the night as time expired. But the Cards still with the big 31-point lead, as at the end of the third quarter, Cardinals up 60-29. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Again, you can check us out on a replay on Time Warner Cable here in the city of Menor, channel 96.96, or on Cardinal TV, Menor, Ohio, on our YouTube channel. It's the second game we broadcasted for the Cards this year, and a number of other home games that we're going to be glad to be a part of here as the season goes on. The Cards are going to be facing Medina on the road on February the 27th. That's going to be the final regular season game of the season for the Cards, and then after that, in the beginning of March, to be determined, obviously the dates and the times, but the Cards appear to be positioning themselves again for a playoff appearance. 60-29, the Cards as we open up the fourth quarter of play. Again, a high point man for the Cards, Kyle McIntosh, 28 points for Menor. The Bees taking it to the basket, getting some substitutions in here, as that's number 22, Luke Schaefer, on that bucket. His first bucket on the evening for Medina and the battling Bees. Kyle McIntosh in there almost the whole time. Turned away was Tadas Tatarudas, though. Fighting for the ball, Kyle McIntosh, though. He's really bringing that intensity again on the offensive and the defensive side tonight. 28 points, the high point man for the Cards, but he's doing more than just contributing by putting up the buckets. He's the distributor. He's been the heart and soul on the defensive side too, so Kyle McIntosh really taking on that leadership challenge. The Cards being a little bit short-handed tonight. 60-31, the big advantage over Medina was mass substitutions for Chris Hassinger and the Bees. Number 33 back in the game, John Teskey. Also got Zeke Martin in there, number 55, another big body at 6'6". Big boy in there for the Bees, so a big front court for Medina, but it has not afforded them any type of advantage tonight, as the Cards have been leading from wire to wire. Nearly got that ringer to go in on that three-point attempt, but coming up shy. 6:50 remaining in the game. Cards up by 29. Cards fighting for the ball. John Teskey drawing the foul against the Cards. That's going to be the fourth foul of the second half of play for the Cardinals. Again, the Bees looking to get mass substitutions in the game, as they're going to be bringing 4 fresh bodies in there. Again, one of the things that the Cards try to do is wear out the competition, and maybe that's what they're doing to Medina and the Bees right now, as they've been trying to really do some big numbers on their substitutions here recently, bringing in 3 to 4 players at a time. The Cards ranked in the Plain Dealer top 25, currently ranked number 8 in that ranking system. VASJ and the Vikings number 1, and also of note, Shaker Heights and the Red Raiders that the Cardinals beat earlier in the season. Game number 3 at Shaker Heights, and the Cards are going to face them again in a couple weeks. right here at home on February the 6th. Next weekend is going to be a big weekend for the Cards. The next 2 games, Friday, January the 30th at Garfield Heights versus the Bulldogs. It's going to be a rematch of that overtime loss that the Cardinals suffered in game number 1 of the season. The Cards found themselves up with a big advantage late in the game and really gave up that big lead to Garfield Heights and allowed them to force overtime. And Garfield Heights pulled away in that overtime session, winning that game 81-74. So the Cards going to look for a little bit of redemption next Friday at Garfield Heights, and then back here on Saturday. A quick turnaround, 2 back-to-back days of games for the Cards next week, as they're going to be versus the Euclid Panthers at home, 7:30 next Saturday. Tough bucket down low for Luke Schaefer. It's his 2nd bucket on the night. This time it's an and-one situation as he looks to cap it off with a 3-point play for the Bees. Cards still with a sizable advantage, getting some substitutions in the game as Andrew Robinson's going to be checking in, and also number 24, Ian Tenku, coming back in the game. Really enjoyed watching Ian and his effort there in that first half of play. Really giving some toughness for the Cardinals, I felt. You know, the Bees, again, have at times a pretty big front line, and Ian Tenku throwing his big body around down there, banging around and showing some good hustle for the Cards. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be Medina possession. Medina showing a little bit of heart here at the 4th quarter, though, not giving up, even though they're down by most likely a number they're not going to be able to come back from here in the 8 minutes in the 4th quarter of play, but showing some heart where they're not going to give up, and they're going to give it their all to the very end. Ben Geske bringing the ball up the court, the point guard for the Bees, swinging it around. John Teskey, the big man, showing some range, but coming up shy in that 3-point attempt. Number 12 with a nice move. That's Jackson Sartain, the sophomore guard for the Bees. 60-36, the Cards with the advantage. Jack Corsock giving some good minutes tonight too, again with his 5th start of the season for the Cards. Their good luck charm, as I call them, as they're undefeated with Corsock in that starting lineup. McIntosh may be getting a little bit tired here. If I'm not wrong, I think he's gone wire to wire. He's been in there the entire game. Coach Kruzanzik really leaning on him with those ball handling duties tonight, and McIntosh has really answered the bell with his 28 points, and you can see it, though. He's getting a little bit tired right now, but he gets an opportunity to catch his breath at the free throw line. Hopefully he can knock them both down on that 1-on-1 situation. Drains the first one. 9 fouls on the night for the Bees. One more, and the Cards are going to find themselves in a double bonus situation where they're going to be shooting 2 free throws at every session at that line. And 30-point evening here for Kyle McIntosh. Big night. 62-36. Again, this is not the game that the Medina Bees like to play. Medina likes to hold teams into the 30s and 40s. So Coach Kruzanzik telling his team, we got to push the ball. We want to get that score up in the 70s or 80s if we want to win tonight. And it's looking like that's where the Cards are going to end up, somewhere in that range with their scoring output. Medina more content to be in a half-court, grinded-out style game, but the Cards were having none of that tonight. Looking to push the ball at every opportunity. Number 12, that's Andrew Robinson swinging around Jack Corsock, back up to Kyle McIntosh. Ian Tenku. Motion offense for the Cards, trying to find that open man. Very unselfish squad for the Cards, not caring who gets the open look in the spotlight, as long as someone gets a good shot attempt. Wide open 3 coming up shy. But the Cards ended back up with the ball. Going to kick it back out to the top. Kyle McIntosh swinging it around. Got Matt Craven also in the game right now too, number 25, the junior guard for the Cards. McIntosh swinging it around. That's Matt Craven. Going to give the ball up to Robinson, to McIntosh. Working it around the perimeter. There it is, number 25, Matt Craven, draining that 3, the junior 6-foot guard for the Cards. first bucket out of the evening, 65-36. Cards back out to a 29-point advantage over Medina. It's a nice hand for the Cards as they go to take the timeout here. Coach Przansk's going to be clearing his bench. Going to be getting Nick DiLiberto coming into the game for the first time. I see Rick Valeri checking in. Number 2, Max Barich is going to be getting some minutes. He's going to be resting the starters right now and give us some minutes, much deserved minutes to some of the players that may not normally get in there. 65-36, the Cards. Big home victory on their way to tonight. Number 9 on the season, came into this game with an 8-4 record. Again, they're going to have a busy weekend next week versus Garfield Heights and the Bulldogs on Friday night on the road, and then back here at home versus the Euclid Panthers. Garfield Heights ranked 6th in the Plain Dealer top 25, so you know it's going to be a tough matchup for the Cards. The Cards going to have revenge on their minds. .326 remaining in the game, 65-36. Cards with the board. Pushing the ball up, that's number 2, Max Barich. Swinging the ball around. DiLiberto over to Barich. Barich over to DiLiberto for the wide open three-pointer. Coming up shy. DiLiberto on that attempt. 65-36, 2:50 remaining in the game. The Cards with the big lead. Medina swinging that ball around. Number 12 with a nice take and make. Jackson Sartain showing a couple nice moves here tonight. Max Barich going to assume the point guard duties for the remainder of the fourth quarter here, it appears. Nick DiLiberto on the fake, swinging that ball around. Again, also Andrew Valeri's brother here, Rick Valeri, the junior guard. And the Cards throwing that out of bounds. Also number 14, Nick Novotny in the game for the Cards. .214 remaining in the game. Cards have this game all but sealed up at this point. 65-38. They want to continue to play to that final whistle. Cards missing that rebound attempt. Bucket by the Bees. Inside 2 minutes to play. Pushing the ball up. Max Barich finding his man for the wide open three and draining it. Nice three-pointer by the Cards. A minute and a half remaining in the game. 68-40. Ryan Keller looking inside for big Zeke Martin. The 6'6" big man. The wide body for the Bees. Good hands by Max Barich. Knocking that ball out of bounds. Cardinals still want to play that tight defense. Zeke coming up shy on that attempt. Rebounded by the Bees. Some offensive rebounds here late in the game for Medina. Fighting to the finish, Ryan Keller, the senior guard for Medina, but the Cards pushing the ball. Max Barich splitting the double team. As the Bees on the move. Jackson Sartain kicking it up to Ryan Keller, number 20. Inside a minute to play, 68-42. Big Zeke Martin up and out, missing that basket for the Bees. A lot of offensive boards though. Jimmy Daw on the bucket, the sophomore forward for the Bees. Half a minute to play in the game. The Cards up 68-44. Trying another three-point attempt, but coming up shy, but getting the offensive board. Number 2, Max Barich, going to kick it over to Nick DiLiberto coming up shy in a 3-point attempt. 14 seconds remaining in the game. 68-44. 10 seconds to go. The Cards going to end up with a big margin of victory here tonight. Fouled as time winding down, as Nick DiLiberto is going to go to the line, shooting 2, as that's going to be the 10th foul on the second half of the game for Medina and the Bees. The double bonus situation. See what the refs call here too. It looks like there may be a technical assessed as well. Unfortunate as there's just not even a full tick remaining on the scoreboard, a 0.3 of a second remaining. Cards with a big victory here tonight. Kyle McIntosh really setting the tone and leading the charge from his scoring output, dropping 30 points, to his ball handling and defensive presence. Really showing that hustle that led the rest of the team. Micah Potter coming off that big 37-point output last week versus Strongsville and the Mustangs. Very low scoring night tonight for Micah, but somewhat understandable as he was matched up against one of the most difficult big men to face in the area with John Teskey, the 7-footer from Medina, and that's going to do it here for the game tonight. The Cards 69-46, coming back home for another W, getting the victory. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Hope you're checking out the replay here, Time Warner Cable, channel 96.96, or also on our YouTube channel, Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio. We'll see you next time. Go Cards.